Governor Dome Emmanuel swears in 2 new permanent secretaries into state civil service. Wife of the state governor inaugurates healthcare center constructed by African heritage women in education and empowerment. Plus, NTOU ends first ever virtual children's paper presentation for secondary schools in Akwa Ibom State. Hello, welcome to NTOU News. My name is Utube Achibong. This broadcast is reaching you live on StarTimes channel 103 and our social media platforms on Facebook and YouTube. Do stay. Governor Dome Emmanuel has appointed and sworn in 2 new permanent secretaries into the Akwa Ibom State Civil Service. The new permanent secretaries are Imabong Sylvester and Emem Isang. Kelvin Samuel reports.
The governor, while swearing in the 2 newly appointed permanent secretaries, says the easiest path to higher level of leadership is through service, thereby encouraging the people to continually give their best at all times, as the day of reward will surely come.
And I'm happy, very, very happy that I've done what we've done this morning. If you don't reward hard work, there won't be any encouragement to work hard. Let's try and see how we can impact on human capacity. The problem in Nigeria today is not unemployment, it's capacity development. And I just pray, it's still my prayer, that the Dakada Skills Acquisitions Varsity that we set up, Akwa Ibom people will take advantage of that.
Speaking on behalf of the new permanent secretaries, Emem Isang appreciate the governor for the gesture while assuring that they are ready to put in their very best on the job.
Sometimes you may just be working and not knowing that somebody appreciates your work. It's only when it comes out like this, you say, yes, somebody appreciates your work. The governor, His Excellency, is a man that appreciates hard work, and he has just done that. The new office is more hard work, is more hot seat, but I believe that God will see us through.
Oath of office was administered on them by the governor shortly before the commencement of the valedictory exco meeting. From the Akwa Ibom State Government House, Kelvin Samuel, NTA News.
And from the legislature comes a report that a bill for the establishment of Ibom Industrial City Corporation for the development and regulation of Ibom Industrial City and other matters connected therewith has been passed into law. The bill, which passed the first and second readings, was committed to the House Committee on Industry, Commerce and Tourism for scrutiny, and the report was presented during plenary. Assembly correspondent Sika Okun has details.
While presenting the reports, Chairman of the committee and member representing Itu State constituency, Kufre Abasi Didem, says the law is expected to transform the economy of the state and lay the required foundation for industrialization and job creation.
The bill, when passed, shall establish the requisite framework for the development and implementation of a master plan for the physical development of the industrial city as a follower to the deep sea port in the areas captured in the map.
A motion was moved and seconded for the House to dissolve into the Committee of the Whole to consider the reports. After coming to an end of the engagement of the Committee of the Whole, the bill was read the 3rd time and passed into law. Speaker Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly Aniekan Basi commended the committee for a good job and directed the clerk of the House to communicate same to the state governor.
Cooperation for the development and regulation of the industrial city, we were the center. Those members those against it. The bill, the government will take them and pass into law. This is the law of the land.
The House was adjourned to reconvene on Tuesday, 30th May 2023. In Uyo, Nsika Okun, NTA News.
And political office holders in Akwa Ibom State and philanthropists have been charged to contribute their quota to the well-being of the people, especially in their various rural communities. The wife of the state governor, Martha Udom Emmanuel, gave the charge while inaugurating a primary health center and shelter house for rural women in Obotam, Nsaribum local government area of the state, donated by African Heritage Women in Education and Empowerment. John Paul Alumuna reports.
African Heritage Women in Education and Empowerment, AHWE, is a non-governmental organization based in the United States of America committed to improving lives in the rural areas. The NGO AHWE collaborates with Family Empowerment and Youth Reorientation Path Initiative, FEREB, and other international partners to provide healthcare, shelter, and means of livelihood to the poor rural women and the vulnerable in the villages. The president of the NGO, Etop Okokon, while presenting a wheelchair and other items to the people, disclosed that her mother, whom she named the primary health care after, inspired her to do things that will improve the lives of widows and the less privileged. She thanked the First Lady and other partners of her NGO for their support, revealing that the healthcare center will be turned into a full hospital in future.
Any services here is for free. Always remember my church and these people praying and with not really medical checkup. So I support them. In my mind, I said I will turn this place to a full clinic. Since I'm in America, they can't be doing all those even though God is helping them.
The elders of the church, they were my comforter. So as God has guided us and lead us to everything, we'll be successful. Then I promise that any place I go, if God spare my life, I will not forget this place.
The First Lady of Akwa Ibom State, Martha Udom Emmanuel, commended the president of AHWE for remembering her people in the villages and advised them to protect the facility provided for them.
This is something that everybody should emulate. When God blesses you, you should give back. What this demonstrates is we should show love to one another. That is what Etop has done today. Okay, you don't want money. So in your own little way, get to it, be kind to one another.
Using that platform, definitely I will liaise with the chairman of the council to make sure that security-wise that these facilities is completely protected.
Some of the beneficiaries commended the NGO for the gesture.
Our father appreciates AHWE, African Heritage Empowerment Organization, the NGO that is championing this cause. It is true that it is good to serve, but this service is the best.
Our treatment very well. This is my baby, I born for this, and I will enjoy it.
I remember the time I didn't go to church, but now I'm a member, a full member because of this machine. Any place I go, I do my business.
This clinic here is mainly maternity, but we handle other cases. We take care of the women and everything is free. I so thank God for the grace God has given her to bring this kind of projects.
And I want to thank the vision of the founder of this place, because it's in key with what the government has been propagating, that's bringing healthcare to the rural area and affordable also.
The African Heritage Women in Education and Empowerment provided pantry foods, primary health care center, shelter for the homeless, and 30 plots of land for widows' farm, where farm produce are harvested to support the rural poor. From Nsitubum, John Paul Alumuna, and
University of Uyo holds 90th inaugural lecture, calls on Nigerians to seek healthcare in hospitals, not prayer houses. Details of the report will come after this time out, to stay tuned.
Welcome to Prisma International Hotels, located at number 5 Efangosanga Street, Afaga Fort, Over Back Road, Uyu. When it comes to hospitality industry, nothing compares with comfort, exquisite services, and top-of-the-world security. These are what make Prisma Hotels a household name. At Prisma Hotels, you are assured of lavishly furnished, spacious rooms and suites with complimentary breakfast, top-class blue sea swimming pool, VIP and poolside bars, as well as restaurant where African and continental dishes are served at pocket-friendly rates. These are not all. There is high-speed internet service, closed-circuit television, spacious car park, 24-hour power and water supply, sparkle laundry and dry cleaning services, and above all, combat-ready security operatives. So whenever you are in Uyo or you are a resident in Uyo, capital city of Akwa Ibom State, make Prisma Hotels number 5 Efangosanga Street, Afaga Fort, Over Back Road, Uyo, your choice, and you will cherish the experience. For bookings and inquiries, please call 081-3166-6660 or 0915-509-9989. Prisma International Hotels, hospitality par excellence.
The federal government has extended the Nigeria COVID-19 Action Recovery and Economic Stimulus (NG CARES) program by 12 months, beginning from June 2023. Minister of State for Budget and National Planning, Clem Agba, in a message to the ministerial town hall meeting in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, insists that President Buhari will continue to lift millions of Nigerians out of poverty even at last minute in office. Clement Barikwi has details.
With a World Bank loan of $750 million, the Nigeria COVID-19 Action Recovery and Economic Stimulus (NG CARES) program is a multi-sectoral program designed to provide immediate emergency relief to the vulnerable and poor Nigerians, smallholder farmers, and SMEs that were adversely affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. This interactive town hall meeting gives the Federal CARES Unit opportunities to receive testimonies from beneficiaries of the program in Akwa Ibom and Cross River States, while highlighting achievements and challenges faced during the implementation of the program.
After the COVID, we were all down. A lot of us businesses were all down. So by the time this money came, it was a big relief.
The 500,000 helped us grow our capacity from 500 kg to over 3 tons within the space of time. So it's been very impactful for us.
Through this intervention, we have benefited directly and indirectly. The direct benefit factor is myself, that as mentioned earlier, and also my community and the pupils in our community primary school.
Minister of State for Budget and National Planning, Clem Agba, in his message to the event, says the NG CARES has another 12 months extension.
The purpose of the extension is to enable the government in this part of the country to keen into it the more, to utilize the platform that already existed through the NG CARES program, the P4R approach.
One major reason why many of the states did not do very well is because the delivery platforms in the states were not given enough resources to work. So when you give them enough resources, then they will produce more results.
So far, Akwa Ibom State has earned 992 million naira with 11,967 beneficiaries, while Cross River State earned 907.8 million naira with 10,430 beneficiaries. Representatives of the two states promised to step up in the next phase. In Uyo, Clement Barikui, NTA News.
Related developments, the federal government of Nigeria has declared Monday, May 29, 2023, work-free day for all workers in the country to commemorate the inauguration of the nation's sixth democratically elected president. The declaration was made by the Minister of Interior, Ogbeni Ralph Aregbesola, in Abuja on Thursday on behalf of the federal government. The minister felicitates with all Nigerians on the momentous occasion, commending them for their faith in democracy as expressed in the nationwide elections that produced the president and his deputy being inaugurated and indeed in all elections across the nation. Moving on now, there is a big gap between the medical care of patients and the religious sensibility of the people, leading them to patronizing and operate all kinds of spiritual homes in search of good health. Hence, efforts should be made to address the spiritual dimensions of patients' health. This was the position of the 90th inaugural lecturer of the University of Uyo, Professor Antonia Essien, from the Department of Religious and Cultural Studies, University of Uyo. John Paul Alumona reports that the lecture was on the topic Mainstreaming Spirituality in Healthcare Services, Exploring the Gamut of Inclusivity.
Citation of the 90th inaugural lecturer indicates that Professor Antonia Essien is a professor of sociology of religion and Reverend Sister of the Handmaid of Child Jesus Congregation of the Catholic Church, who has published many books and journals. Professor Essien explained that the lecture is intended to give a clearer view on how to handle healthcare services in the midst of spirituality and present innovative ideas on how to save lives, while revealing the sad instances of patients who died in hospitals in Akwa Ibom State for disobeying medical advice in adherence to their spiritualist advice. She cautioned people to differentiate between healthy and unhealthy spirituality. Professor Essien recommended that hospitals should have effective spiritual and pastoral care units with chaplains noted for healthy spirituality to minimize avoidable deaths.
No authentic spiritualists that will work against medical doctors. Anyone that does that is not authentic. It is the physician who should say when a patient's health condition is beyond medical option. It is not the spiritualist who should say that, so that those in medicine will know that they have reached the end of their strength before they can now begin to look elsewhere. So building inclusive bridges will be a way to go.
The Vice-Chancellor of the University, Professor Nyando Ndayo, described the lecture as apt, considering the increase in superstitious beliefs at the detriment of medical care, urging the participants to take advantage of the lecture to know when to seek medical care in hospitals or go to prayer homes.
I'll tell you that she has showcased herself very well. She has shown her vibrancy. She has also demonstrated that she's proactive. If I'm looking at this book, many years after she was pronounced a professor, she's still publishing. And by the time she concluded, she has told us that there are other areas that she's going to continue to research into. She has not dismissed it truly. All she's saying is that there should be synergy. And I think that's the direction to go. They should work in very passive, hand in hand.
People, for want of money and for all the things that they look for, have gotten people derailed away from healthy spirituality. And Sister is saying we should be careful. If you're sick, if you have a problem, know where to go to.
As I listened, I saw the advantages of integrating spirituality and healthcare. So that was a key point for me. And then for people to be a little bit observant when they go seeking spiritual help for their cures. Those with healthy religiosity can help people in the context of their health issues. And then the presenter did not negate the fact that it gets to some point with medical help that people can seek, and then there should be referral.
The lecturer presented a copy of the lecture to the Vice-Chancellor, while the University Vice-Chancellor presented a plaque to the 90th inaugural lecturer. In Uyo, John Paul Alumona, NTA News.
The Nigerian television of Uyo has ended her first ever virtual children's paper presentation with a charge on the participating students to imbibe reading culture as leaders of tomorrow. Correspondent reports that the event is an activity by the organization to mark the 2023 Children's Day celebration. Apart from the routine march past, dances, different cultural displays, and other activities all geared towards celebrating Children's Day, the NTOU deemed it necessary to deviate from the norm by engaging children in intellectual competition.
I've now seen my capability. I know my weak points, and I know where I can try, and I know how I can improve on them. So I will press harder.
It has actually for me to participate in more events like this, in essay writings or like speaking competition, and I've learned from my mistakes and to do better whenever the next opportunity comes.
It helps me boost my knowledge, and I have to be confident to speak out, so it also boosts my confidence.
The virtual children's paper presentation, which was in the junior and senior categories, had participants drawn from different secondary schools across Akwa Ibom State. The participating students had on Thursday, May 25, contested for the prizes via Zoom, where they joined from the comforts of their homes.
If you can come in this small audience to do a presentation, you start to build your confidence. You start to even read more, because you now know that you're going to do more of reading for next year, because for winnings this year, other people are going to come to compete with you for this money. So for you to read, you're becoming better. And you find out that your reading skills, oh, this is me, you're presenting. So I can even present, I can be a better person. I can take authority over people. That makes you a good leader.
To come up with the virtual children's paper presentation. This is the first, the maiden edition. And this enhances the children's skills in writing and presentation.
For the grand finale, some sponsors encouraged the students to reignite the reading habit while sustaining the winning spirit.
Not just end with the excitement of today. They should sustain it by reading more, by writing more, by getting involved, participating in competitions like this.
The first speaker rightly said they have to imbibe the quality and the habit of reading and studying, even with visual or audio reading. That's going to help them in the future. And not just to win today, they should at all times strive to be winners. And
so we need to encourage them and also be also support them in their academics.
Put together with the theme, the effect of TV cartoon on the intellectual development of children for the junior category and the impact of the present economy on the education of the child for the senior category, the virtual children's paper presentation ended with Ajenemem Umar of Dove International Schools coming first, Samuel Udwok of Full Life International Schools taking the second position, and Kimfona Basikot of Dove International Schools was placed at third position. For the senior category, Enwang from Bula International Schools came first, followed by Divine John Bosco, Tower of Ivory International Academy, Airport Road, Uyo, with the second position, while Inemeseto Kun from Tower of Ivory Schools, Ediana Bak took the third place. Prizes of 100,000 naira, 70,000 naira, and 50,000 naira were awarded to the winners accordingly in Uyo. That's a package this evening. Wisdom Jacob is standing by for the news translation. Have a good night.
Manuel ano we ba adu mesanga wen wet unwang tong tum awana dai wuru kara stede me bere u foibo e bo radio the African Heritage Women in Education and Empowerment e bapa u fo tum NTOU e ben nutum on bo ba ke tum no mu fong secondary ka kwai bum stede dis muta gang ni song ide mo ya ikup mbo sanyi ni mbu bre yo me kere wisdom check up Ema nombun si kama nutum kem mu fo tumu kara koram bun sinia. Ima ino bono wo iteme bo ya mo kai so item bonsen ka di dependa odu wem. Bono wo panapan bono wo sino ke mesri dong. Ado wana dai wuru kara stedemi mama ta odu mi manuela kana iteme mi kini aga bere ko foibo yo foidong. Ano mi ban ke esri dong ke obotem ken ko karan seribu. Mi ke sted ay bogedi anga the African Heritage Women in Education and Empowerment ege papo ya ikom bomi. Ebo the African Heritage Women in Education and Empowerment edonka imini bwana mukara ndiene ba ka biom fiawu mo biom to ni dependa do wembono wo ka mesridon nkami ediana mebo onye the Family Empowerment and Youth Reorientation Path Initiative FEREP yemen kamfen enamutum ali dependa tum nsong idem bono wo ebo bu fo no bono wo enyo dependa do wem muwene ke mesridon akpan mebekpa adai wore bogodo etubo kokon kini ke nongo ke bono wo memporo senye ke menaka ama nam ya dio ke kaimo ado wo siki sinu do ino imo ibo ya mo si dependa odo wem bono wo si don ke mesridon akpan mebekpa yembono nana nyama kom wana dai woro kara stedemi men kamfen sidiana mebogodo ino iberedem ayong abo kiti uno saworo kinisu aya kapado kambao foibok wana dai wuru kara stedemi mama ta udomi manuel ama kom adai wore bogodo kena ngatoyo mbon idonga mo ayong no itemebo yang bonomi ekpe memem bose nang eno mo enam ya idio ke bogomi esi nongom bonowo uso ke mention si usong e bobo fo no menano fo ayong enie isong edep medu eno mebekpa ya kama itombo ndion eyong edok esunuwam eno mbonu nana wisdom check ofo automenti ewiyo mai benu tumari na mbuba ke tumeno ni tofong wit kestedemi edisimo trenyo eno mbon move eno mbon sigi keni wana itemebo ya mo isini dem kedi konwet atembono dido medaw sonkini isu akombo ngino tiba chibongot nam ya idion kedi na me ke tumate upar mempo kedi nama nto ina kiswa 2023 ya ikombo mitonya
ina medi on kesio me isang unek ye mention sio pomfen to ine sekenam afre fan baratoro e kamedara usen to yin akiswanyim ufogutum enti uyo enam mpomfen amenam moisio ndutememi ekoto virtual children's paper presentation mi enam baratoro to yin ebene what ifyok amoni ke banga ke ukbemwet keduna mami ekedan di to fongwet esio ke mention sio ufongwet ke stedemi nko 14 amoy mai wana mbubami eto ke mention sio for moy dongoke baratoro moy kan enam mbubami ke wok patre ke akpatre baratoro ebendubami eke samutat enam ediongo mbono weke wana ke keduna made mai non to unitem ebo yammo etengenyen esingwet ke mai ke kwenge ajenemem umo akufong with Dove International akebenekpa Samuel Woodwork akufong with Full Life International abene yogiba kemfon abasi kot akufong with Dove International abene yogita kikperenkang ntokoyen ketange banga ikperenkang kponowo enwongo enwanga akufong with Beulah International abenekpa Divine John Bosco akufong with Tower of Ivory International Academy usong airport abene yogiba nko ine mesoro kono kufong with Tower of Ivory ediana bak abene yogita nko emano ngomo meno akene me itiese mo ekeboyo miku yo utebe achibon akombok entie
angin bondi trembong bubre yo mi ero tutum bubre yum kwangari temaki kup membofen itonyo